welcome to my YouTube channel, Vastu Creations. Today we're going to look at the chart of Liz Truss, who was the Prime Minister of UK. If you look to the Eastern Horizon when she was born, using sidereal Vedic zodiac, you would see the constellation associated with Cancer rising at 18 degrees. That becomes the most effective point of every house, and any planets like Mars, etc., have a lot of impact in the chart, and Venus. We want to first, looking at the chart, see what the karmas are for this person when she came into this life, things that she didn't fulfill in her last life. So wherever the multicona signs fall, 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, and 11, that indicates she's really focused on career. First sign of Aries, ruled by Mars in the 10th house of career. She's very much focused on having a magnetic personality. We have Cancer ruled by Moon in the first house, focused on fulfilling her purpose. And then we have Leo, ruled by Sun, in the ruling the second house of wealth and fame, stability in the marriage. So she's learning about stability in the marriage and fame. Then we have Virgo, ruled by Mercury, in the house of success. And we have, so learning about being worthy of being successful. Then we have the seventh sign of Libra, ruling the fourth house. So having stability again in the family, worthy of that. And then we have Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter, in the sixth house of conflict. So there's conflict in marriage, conflict in politics. Then we have the 11th sign of Aquarius in the 8th house, which is learning about past trauma, vulnerabilities, how to heal them. So let's just look and see what how the planets are operating in the chart, and then we'll look at the timing of events. So her sun is weak. Its landlord is weak. So it's sitting in that first house. Moon is weak, so it can't be any stronger than the moon. Moon is sitting is poorly placed in the 8th house of vulnerability. Then we have, this gives her leadership skills in politics, but with some delays, setbacks, and instability in the marriage. She did have an affair in 2005. Then we have weak placement of the moon in the 8th house. Creates some vulnerabilities with her career. And this is also the house of affairs, so there was some secret affair on her part. And then we have Mars is at 23 degrees. It gives her career through executive skills, and she's very much of an activist in the Conservative Party. And then we have a weak afflicted Mercury. It's at 2 degrees, and it gives her controversial speech, success through her ability to be magnetic and speak well. And also accounting skills. She was an accountant, I think, for Shell oil. Then we have functional malefic, weak infant state Jupiter. Jupiter is ruling the house of conflict. So brings some conflict in, and Jupiter is husband, so there was conflict in the marriage and conflict in her role as a politician. And then we have weak dispositor Venus. Venus is sitting also in the second house, and that house is ruled by Sun, which we already determined to be weak. So what happens? This Venus is ruling the house of family and happiness, so it brings some instability in the family with her affair. Then we have weak infant state Saturn. Saturn, any planet that's less than 5 degrees cannot protect or promote its own signification. So Saturn's weak at 0 degrees, which and Saturn's in that first house. So it brings vulnerabilities to your purpose, to your career, setbacks to the career. Then we have functional malefic Rahu and Ketu, always opposite each other, trying to balance spiritual and material issues. So let's look at the timing of events. She got married in 2000 during a Jupiter period. Jupiter is the significator for husband, also the significator for conflict. Then we have in 2005, she had an affair during a Saturn period. Saturn is ruling the 8th house of secrets and affairs. And then we have became prime minister in September and of this 2022 during a Mercury period, bringing some success. But then just a few weeks later, she resigned because of her unpopular tax cuts. And if we look at the chart on the left, this inner circle is where the planets were when she was born. The outer circle is where the planets are today when she actually resigned on October 20th, 2022. We see that Rahu and Ketu are right almost on the most effective point, the rising sign degree. So they are afflicting 6 out of the 12 houses. So they're afflicting career, the 12th house of loss, the second house of fame and reputation. Her popularity just plummeted. And then the 4th house of happiness. So you can see that this Vedic astrology, transformation Vedic astrology, is very accurate. We wish her well. Hope she finds a new position that makes her happy. And we can see when we're looking at the chart for UK, it's really going through a tough time till the end of the year. So you can see it reflected in the UK chart that as well. If you wanted to get a reading, you can go to vastucreations.com. The things that would have helped her chart is doing more charity work for spiritual organizations for Jupiter, and people who cannot help themselves for Saturn and Rahu, and spiritual organizations for K2. We don't want to strengthen those functional malefic planets. So any planet, multiconal signs that are in the 6th and the 8th, their rulers become functional malefic. So that's why Jupiter and Saturn can cause some issues. And then strengthening the rest of the planets, as you can see, they're quite weak. Venus with wearing a diamond, Saturn, blue sapphire, not Saturn, Mercury with a green emerald, Sun with a ruby, Mars with a red coral, Jupiter with a yellow sapphire, or my favorite remedy, which is a Kavash locket containing the Devata yantras for those planets to strengthen them. So again, you can see all this and contact me if you wish at vastucreations.com. We do astrological consultations as well as Vastu, and also there's a certification program if you want to learn to be a astrologer or a Vastu consultant. Thank you so much for listening. Please subscribe.